Let's now talk about the truth. How do we contrast interest rate and interest cost? And when we focus on interest cost, you can do something about it. All right, let's put up something that's going to help us to understand. I use this a lot. It's called an amortization calculator. And we're going to put on here, all right, we're going to put that $500,000 mortgage on, all right, and we're going to put it at 7%. Now, here's what you all need to know. I like the higher interest rates if I can afford the payment. Everything we've learned about finances is literally backwards. We're trying to get the lowest interest rates possible. And because of that, when the interest rates go up, and you can afford to make the payment on these interest rates, the banks make additional money by charging you a premium so that you can get a lower interest rate. When you understand interest cost, then you won't fall for the bank's products. And this is what you need to always ask yourself when it comes to understanding the truth that will get you debt free or the lie that we have been taught to believe. If the bank offers you a way to save money, who would have to be losing money? Tamala says the bank. You are so right. Why would the bank lose money offering you a way to save money? Listen, there's got to be something wrong with it. We are being fed information that is supposed to be the truth, but it turns out to be the lie that keeps us in debt forever. $500,000, folks, at 7%. And I'm going to show you why I like the 7% here in a minute. Okay. So let's see. Remember what I told you? At 7%, the bank wants $139,509. There it is, right from the calculator itself. And the bank wants $697,543.60. Let's make this just a tad bit bigger on the screen. Now, here's what we're talking about. Oh, Liza, thank you so much. Liza said, it's a business. You better believe banking is a business. All right. And they're in it to make money. So if we take a look at this, the breakdown on this payment, we have a payment here of $3,326.51. Okay. The principal amount, the amount that actually pays down the loan on the first payment, is $409.84. That's what goes to principal. The interest cost on this one payment is $2,916.67. If you just look at it this way, and you're looking at the interest cost this way, it makes you feel some kind of way, doesn't it? Kind of takes the air out of your balloon. When we take a look at the interest cost, it makes us feel some kind of way. But when you understand interest cost, when you know the rules, if you understand interest cost, you can make a difference. Here's the thing about interest costs, folks. The bank uses a formula to create this kind of interest cost. But because virtually no one knows how it works, if I were to poll the entire room, have you ever had a class other than the P.I.L.L method classes? Have you ever had a class on how amortization works, how banks make their money, how this whole thing turns into how a 6% loan turns into a 115% loan? Have you ever had a class on this? But we're expected to use it. I mean, we come out of college, we go into the workforce, we get mortgages, we get credit cards, we get car loans. The interest-bearing loan is the most ubiquitous financial tool on the planet. And no one knows how it works. How we're supposed to play a game we don't know the rules to. So let me show you some facts about how this is going on. Only $409 out of your payment goes to principal, just so that we can have a comfortable payment, to have a nice home to live in. But to give them $409, I have to give the bank $2,916.67 in interest. And the next month ain't much better. The next month, only $412 goes to principal and $2,914.28 goes to interest. Let me put a calculator on the screen and let me show you something, how the bank makes its money. Okay. We're putting a calculator on the screen. Our whole payment is $3,326.51. Our interest part is $2,916.67. That's how much interest we pay. When we divide it by the whole payment of $3,326, we're going to take that money and divide it by $3,326.51. That's our payment. I want to show you something. 0.876. That means 88% of your money is going to interest out of your payment. 88% of it. If we were to break it down like the economists do, because the economists, they talk about your housing dollar. They break it down to the dollar. Your housing dollar, which means out of every dollar, 88 cents out of that dollar goes to interest. And 12 cents out of your dollar goes to pay off your mortgage. What kind of world are we living in? You got a nice house. You got good credit. You've done everything right. You've done everything right. And now you're paying for something where 88 cents out of your dollar goes to the bank and only 12 cents goes to your mortgage. 88% of our payment dollar goes to interest and only 12 cents goes to the mortgage. And we think that's okay because no one is taking the time to teach this so that we can understand what's happening. Let me tell you something. Because the bank chose this methodology, the reason why you don't know it and you don't understand it and you're seeing it here for the first time is because the strength of them making money is also this methodology's weakness. The same strength is its weakness. I'm going to expose the weakness right now. If you want to see the weakness of what the bank is doing, you see the bank is charging you 88%. The weakness is, if you understand the math, you can save at the same rate they're charging you. You can turn this thing around so that you have more money going to your principal and less money going to interest. You can flip that around. You can save at 88% instead of paying 88%. All right, folks, let's get this information out here. How do we save at the same rate they're charging us? I'm going to show you something right quick. Then we're going to move on. If I make this payment in January, this month, I made my first payment. And out of that $3,300, only $409 went to principal, $2,900 went to interest. I can see next month's principal payment. I can see it. It's right there, $412.23. But there's no law that says I can't give them that $412.23 early. What if I did? What if I gave it to them early? Because I don't have to wait till February to give them the $412.23. I give it to them in January. Guess what? All of this money goes to principal. Every single dime of it goes to principal. And I pay down to line 2 on my amortization schedule right now. I'm paid down to line 2. And guess what? If you're paid down to line 2 in January, your next mortgage payment is on line 3 for February. So what just happened? The bank wants you to get rid of each line. To get rid of each line on your amortization schedule, the bank wants you to pay $33.26.51 on their schedule every single month to get rid of a line. I just showed you how you can get rid of one line on your amortization schedule for only $412.23. And you skip that line. And now you go down to the next one. You just turned 360 monthly payments into 359 monthly payments with just this one move. Do you all like that? Oh my goodness. I am loving this.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.